Today we're playing Gwenom Remorseless from Marvel's Spider-Man in Legacy Tin Fins. It's an ultra spicy one. Let's go check it out. In front of you is Legacy Tin Fins, one of the oldest combo decks in the format, and its name is terrible. It gets it from a C-Lab 2001 TV show, and honestly, I don't get it. But, you know, it's a deck that's existed for a long time, and the deck is basically, you want to entomb for Griselbrand, and then reanimate it using Shallow Grave or Goryo's Vengeance. And then you attack. That's the big thing about this deck. You get to attack with the Griselbrand, which means you get to draw 21 cards because you get to pay an extra 7 life. After that, you can, play Children of Corliss, gain a bunch of life back, draw more cards using your Griselbrand, play a couple copies of Dark Ritual, and then end the game with Tendrils of Agony. That's how the deck works. You can also reanimate the Emrakul of the Aeon's Torn and make your opponent sacrifice 6 permanents while dealing them a bunch of damage. But in today's video, we have a brand new card, Gwenom Remorseless or Egrix the Bile Bulwark. And I say Gwenom or this card with a terrible name because Magic did not get the license to put the Spider-Man cards on their digital clients, both Magic Arena and Magic Online. So they have different names, same cards. Throughout the video, I'm going to call it Gwenom because I think that this card name, Egrix the Bile Bulwark, is just a mouthful and Gwenom is just easier. So I will be calling it Gwenom. But why Gwenom is so good is that it's a 5-mana legendary creature, a 4/4 with Death Touch and Lifelink. Whenever it attacks, you can play cards from the top of your library this turn. If it's a spell this way, you lose life equal to its mana value, and you get to look at the top card at any time. This card is Bolas's Citadel, except it's a creature. So you can play Entomb and then reanimate the Shallow Grave, or with Shallow Grave or Goryo's Vengeance on the Gwenom. So this allows you a unique way to win the game. Okay, but why is that better than Griselbrand? Realistically, it's not. However, it's a lot easier to cast Gwenom than it is Griselbrand. So there's going to be situations where you can play Dark Ritual off of a basic swamp, use a Lotus Petal, and then tap your basic island to put Gwenom on the stack, and you can protect it with Force of Will or Daze, and from there, you get to dodge the graveyard. I think that's the big level up, if I'm being completely honest with you. You have a Storm Wind condition in this deck that does not use the graveyard, that also works with your primary game plan. For if some reason Griselbrand doesn't work or is exiled, you have a backup game plan that works with your primary engine, and that's just really nice. So a unique, cool combo deck in Legacy that gets to play Daze, Thought, Season, Force of Will, and as we know, we're in a combo-centric metagame with Oops All Spells and Dimir Reanimator. Having this interaction while doing something powerful is pretty good. In the sideboard, we have a whole new combo deck. We have Doomsday, so you're boarding in Doomsday, Thassa's Oracle, your cyclers like Street Wraith and Edge of Autumn, your Cavern of Souls, Shelldock Isle, and then protection spells like Flusterstorm and Force of Negation. So why are we doing this? Well, we're a graveyard combo deck in game 1. Okay, so when your opponent brings in their Leyline of the Void, Grafdigger's Cage, etc., you board out of a graveyard combo deck into a highly efficient Doomsday deck. And the Shelldock Isle, if you're unfamiliar, used to be pretty stock 2 or 3 years ago in Doomsday because it allows you to cast Emrakul the Aeon's Torn off of Doomsday using that Shelldock Isle, because you exile your deck down to 5 cards, you play the Shelldock Isle, you get to use the Emrakul, and then attack them repeatedly until they're dead. So that's the idea with that card. Otherwise, it's a pretty stock Thassa's Oracle deck sideboard. This deck has a name. Some people like to call it Entombsday because game 1, your Tin Fins postboard your Doomsday. So that's what people like to call it. I just call it Tin Fins. And I hope you enjoyed the sideboard juke. Let me know what you think of Gwenom in this video today. I'd greatly appreciate your feedback. If you enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe, support the channel, and I will see everyone in match number 1. Don't go anywhere. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. You can also show your support by becoming a member of this channel. You get sweet perks such as badges, emotes, early access to videos, exclusive members-only content, and access to our members Discord section. As you increase the tiers, there are other rewards such as shop discounts, sideboard guides, and even free donation decks. Click the join button down below to find out more. We also have other ways you can support us, like theepicsforum.com/shop or submitting a donation deck via theepicsforum.com/donation decks. That's enough for now. Let's play some Magic. Match number 1 with Gwenom Tin Fins. We're on the play. Let's go. Alright, so we have Undercity Sewers. The Griselbrand is in our hand, which is a little awkward. We have Brainstorm. I think that this hand's not great, but I'm going to keep it. I think I'm expecting Brainstorm to do some heavy lifting here, putting back the Tendrils of Agony and the Griselbrand. We'll play the Undercity Sewers and Surveil. Keep that Polluted Delta, exactly what I wanted to see there. Pass the turn. Our opponent plays Ancient Tomb into Torpor Orb. That doesn't affect us here, but they're likely on Stifle Knot. We'll play the Polluted Delta and cast the Brainstorm. Put back Griselbrand and... what's worse? Tendrils of Agony or Children of Corliss? Probably the Tendrils of Agony, because I can play the Children of Corliss off of Lotus Petal. We'll fetch... I need one more mana to Entomb Goryo's Vengeance next turn. We'll grab the Underground Sea and Ponder. Ooh, that's not bad. Allows me to play through Days. Maybe I should have drawn the Lotus Petal this turn. I don't know. I want them to think that I might be Reanimator because I've shown them double Underground Sea plus Ponder. Wasteland. Okay, I can still do the thing next turn. That's a Phyrexian Dreadnought. If they have one less life, Emrakul would kill them. Alright, so we'll play the Island, Lotus Petal, and let's attempt an Entomb. We'll select the Griselbrand and Goryo's Vengeance. Target the Griselbrand. Alright, let's draw 7. Draw 7 more down to 5. We'll play the Lotus Petal. And I can now Dark Ritual, Entomb the Emrakul, the Aeon's Torn, and then Shallow Grave it back. Alright, select the Emrakul. A trigger happens here, and then we'll play the Shallow Grave. And so the Emrakul trigger is still on the stack. We're going to return the Emrakul, and then attack for lethal. And the Emrakul trigger will resolve after the Shallow Grave. So they saw that we are FINS, so now we're going to board into Doomsday versus the Torpor Orb deck, which might not be a great idea, but I think that's what we're going to do. Yeah. So we'll bring in the Cavern of Souls, Shelldock Isle. Okay, we're becoming Doomsday versus the Torpor Orb strategy. I don't know if this is a good idea, but, you know, it's worth it for the science. So we could take out all of the Entombs, all of the Reanimate effects. Take out the Griselbrand. We're at 63 currently. Likely take out both copies of Gwenom. And now we're at 61. You want to leave in the Emrakul for the Shelldock Isle plan. Is it the Collective Brutality? It might be. Oh, it's the Tendrils of Agony. Well, I guess Tendrils, theoretically, you could build a pile that wins with Tendrils of Agony. If they have Torpor Orb. That's kind of funny. Is it worth leaving in then? I mean, I was planning on boarding it out, but is there a world in which Tendrils of Agony is good? My fear is that I don't know if I'm smart enough to win with Tendrils of Agony. Yeah, I'm going to board out the Tendrils of Agony. I don't think I'm going to be able to create enough Storm. So, like, Dark Ritual, Doomsday, Lotus Petal, like, Brainstorm, like, that's only 4. And finding, you know, 6 more spells or whatever, it seems tough. I will keep this. They have Ancient Tomb. Torpor Orb again. I will Force of Negation exile the Brainstorm. Okay. We draw another Force of Negation. I'll play the Undercity Sewers, keep the Underground Sea, and we'll pass. They play Flooded Strand. We'll play the Underground Sea, and then let's Ponder. I mean, this is pretty good. Yeah. We'll put Days on the... Actually, yeah, Days on the bottom, Swamp in the middle. We'll draw the Force of Will. Pass the turn. So next turn, I could play the Swamp, cycle Edge of Autumn, draw the Days, and then Doomsday with double backup. They fetch with Flooded Strand for a Tundra. Clarion Conqueror. I think we just let that one go. Sure. Now I'm sort of wondering, what if instead I hold the Edge of Autumn, and then next turn I draw the Days, and I could then cycle the Edge of Autumn immediately into Shelldock Isle? They haven't shown me a Wasteland yet. We saw it in game 1, but we haven't seen one yet this game. Okay. I mean, they're also a dress down deck, so maybe the Thassa's Oracle should have been the board out instead of Tendrils of Agony. I don't know. They have 4 cards. I will hardcast Force of Negation here. Okay. They're fetching with Flooded Strand for a Tundra, and now they Ponder. They did not shuffle, and now they play Meticulous Archive. and they kept the card on top. So they wanted both cards on top. We'll draw the days and play Doomsday. They have 3 cards. Ooh, it resolves. Okay. So we can do Shelldock Isle. I don't know why I selected Thassa's Oracle. Shelldock Isle, Thassa's Oracle. We want the Emrakul the Aeon's Torn. Maybe like a Brainstorm? In Cavern of Souls? Okay, so the card we put on... The last card we place will be the top one. Or will be the bottom one, I mean. So the first card you click is the bottom, the last card is the top. So Thassa's Oracle can be the bottom, Emrakul the Aeon's Torn, Brainstorm... Actually, hold on. Cavern of Souls, Brainstorm, Shelldock Isle. And then I'll cycle the Edge of Autumn, sacrificing the Swamp. I'll play the Shelldock Isle. And we'll select the Emrakul. Okay, pass the turn. They have 5 available mana here. 4 cards in hand. They play a stock up. I think I have to Force of Will this. They have 3 cards. I can't afford them finding Wasteland here. They're thinking long and hard about this stock up. They brainstorm in response. Yeah, we have to let that go. Force of Will back on the stack. Been countered. They have not played their land drop yet. They attack with the Clarion Conqueror. Ouch, I'm at 4. No land, okay. We draw the Brainstorm that I can't use here. Maybe Brainstorm was a bad idea for the pile, because I would never have been able to use it based on what I did. So, like, this could have been another Flusterstorm or something. And now we'll Emrakul the Aeon's Torn. They can consign to memory the extra turn trigger, but that's it. I mean, this worked beautifully, I have to say. Game 1, we did the FINS thing. Game 2, we did the Doomsday Shelldock Isle Emrakul the Aeon's Torn plan. Like, it's just beautiful. We did not get to use Gwenom, but I'm sure we will in one of the matches after this. They consign to memory. I will Daze. Pick up my Underground Sea. They have 2 cards left, and they concede the match. Let's go. All right, take that, Clarion Conqueror. We're 1-0 in this Legacy League. Moxfield.com is the easiest way to build a Magic deck online. They support over 30 formats, including Legacy and many other Eternal formats. There are so many options to view decks the way that you want, from text view to individual cards, mana value, and even card price. There's also light mode and dark mode. My personal favorite feature is card tags. This way you can sort cards by function. Moxfield supports collection tracking, Scryfall search, decklist feedback, and so much more. Follow me on Moxfield.com so you can stay updated on all of my decks. Round number 2, we're on the draw. I have a hand that is a turn 1 win with protection, assuming that we don't get disrupted ourselves. They play a Polluted Delta, a Lotus Petal. Okay, so it's not Reanimator, or not at least Dimir Reanimator. It could be Rakdos Reanimator. Dimir Reanimator typically does not play a Lotus Petal. Ball Therapy, okay. Name Lion's Eye Diamond. No! They named Force of Will. Am I dead? I might be dead here if they're naming Force of Will. I have a turn 1 win, but they might turn 1 win me. Alright. They use their Polluted Delta. They grab a Badlands, Dark Ritual, Entomb. This is, in fact, Rakdos Reanimator. How about that? They grab their own Gristlebrand, and then they animate dead. So they had a turn 1 on the play. Okay. I need them to pass the turn and not discard me. That's what I need here. Alright, they got it. Oh, wow. So they had a turn 1 with backup against my turn 1 with backup, but I did not win the die roll. That is the difference maker here. Just devastating. Okay, so how do we want to play this? Am I supposed to sideboard at all? I feel like we probably want the Flusterstorms. You could also board in the Force of Negations. It's just like, what does the deck look like if we do that? Could probably cut the Consider. What if I'm supposed to just be the control deck and we board out the Lotus Petals and stuff? I kind of like this. I realize that I am no longer like the true dedicated combo deck here, but we are the slower deck in the matchup, even though we are playing a combo deck, and this way we have more interaction, which I think I like. I guess I can't hardcast the Children of Corliss without a Lotus Petal. Maybe I bring back in 1 Lotus Petal, I don't know. Or do I just rely on the Shallow Grave stuff? I don't know what I'm doing. We'll just try this with the Children of Corliss in the main. Game number 2, we're on the play. I don't think we're supposed to keep this, unfortunately. This is better. We'll keep and bottom the swamp, play the Undercity Sewers, keep the Brainstorm, and we'll pass. They have their own swamp, and they unmask me, exiling Entomb. This is sort of one of the reasons why discard has become worse in Legacy. This play right here, where you unmask your opponent and you look at two different forces. So, like, I experienced it a lot playing a lot of combo decks where Force of Negation on top of Force of Will has changed the dynamic a lot ever since Modern Horizons 1. We'll play the Bloodstained Mire and pass. They Entomb. I'll Brainstorm in response. I could find a Daze or Flusterstorm here. I did not. And now I'm regretting holding the Brainstorm when I have a Thoughtseize in my hand. So I guess we put back the Thoughtseize. And we will Force of Will. Exile the Force of Negation. So on the end step, I think I'm going to fetch an Underground Sea and cast Brainstorm. Because theoretically, I could hit Perfects, and then that would allow me to Entomb plus mana into a creature next turn. Or should I just grab the other Undercity Sewers? Yeah, we'll grab the other Undercity Sewers. Trigger. We'll keep that. Let's Thoughtseize. Another Entomb. Wow. Okay. They have 3 cards remaining in their hand. And I say another because they exiled 1 to the Unmask. So their hand is a whole lot of nothing here. So they have Bayou Dark Ritual. I will pass the turn. They surveil away Badlands. They play the known Bayou. They have Dark Ritual and 1 unknown, which was apparently Unmask. I'll Brainstorm. We'll hide the 2 blue cards and then show them double Shallow Grave. Pass the turn. So they're passing here, and then I'll draw Force of Will. So we're able to stop them, but I have not drawn a way to win. They now have 2 cards in their hand. There we go. Alright, so end step we can Entomb and then untap and Shallow Grave. End step Entomb. And they concede. Nice. Alright, we got game number 2. I'm going to board out the Children of Corylus and just bring in the Consider. I don't think we need the Children of Corylus in order to win. Alright, submit for game number 3 on the draw versus the faster build of Reanimator. Game 3 on the draw, we have Entomb, Goryo's Vengeance plus double force backup. All I need is 1 mana. So I will keep this. The opponent has taken a mulligan to 4. We have 2 opportunities to hit that 1 mana as well. My draw step plus my second draw step. I don't think I'm going to want to Entomb. Because then they could reanimate my Gristlebrand, and that seems real bad. So I think I want that extra mana before I make that play. Because I don't want to put the Gristlebrand to the graveyard and then just be punished. A Thoughtseize. Okay, let's play the Thoughtseize. We'll take their Entomb. Pass the turn. We drew another Entomb, so unfortunately we have to pass. They just draw and pass the turn. Another Goryo's Vengeance. I will pass. Discard Entomb. We just need 1 mana. They have a Badlands. And now they Cabal Therapy. I will Force of Negation, exile the Consider. So we know that they have Animate Dead. That is one of their few remaining cards here. We draw Tendrils of Agony. No! Our draw steps have been so bad. Alright. We kept a stellar hand, and so far it has not paid off. They unmask. I have to Force of Will this. They exiled the Animate Dead. They have 2 cards remaining. Dark Ritual, that does it. Dark Ritual. Entomb. We'll grab the Gristlebrand. Goryo's Vengeance. Target the Gristlebrand. And our opponent concedes the match. Let's go! Alright, we are now 2-0. We still haven't used Gwenom, but I'm sure we will at some point. I swear, I do plan on using it. It's just, it doesn't make sense to grab when I could just win the game with Gristlebrand, so I'm doing my best here. So hopefully you appreciate that I'm also trying to win and not just do the cute thing. But we're 2-0. 3 matches remain. Looking to make playing your favorite combo deck much easier? Look no further than the Epic Storm Mini Combo Pack, which is available at theepicstorm.com/shop for $15.99. This token combo pack comes with 84 double-sided tokens featuring classic Storm and Mana tokens with new inclusions such as our modern Ruby Storm package, but that's not all. Our token pack covers a variety of formats from Pauper to CDH with new tokens. Stop on by theepicstorm.com/shop and make an easy decision to elevate your combo game. For round number 3, we're on the draw. We've opened up a hand that just isn't good enough, or I don't believe is good enough. We will mulligan. This is better. We'll bottom the Goryo's Vengeance. I would like to draw an Entomb, please. That would be delightful. Can we make that happen? Yavimaya, Cradle of Growth, into Exploration. Okay. And a Wasteland. Collective Brutality. Not really the draw I wanted. We'll pass the turn. Uh-oh. They all of a sudden have lethal. I don't love that. We will fetch on the end step. Grab our island. And the question is, am I supposed to brainstorm now or untap? So if I untap, I pretty much have to draw exactly Entomb. I guess I'll brainstorm now. So that doesn't do it. I guess I have to ponder into Entomb if I want to win now. Ooh, I could gain 2 life with the Collective Brutality. And then that would make me not dead. Did we find the line? And that gets me an extra turn to look. So we'll Collective Brutality, we'll gain 2, and look at their hand. And I'll discard the Force of Will. They have an Otawara Soaring City? What? Oh, wow. I would have gotten blown out. We'll take the crop rotation. Pass the turn. So they're going to make a Merit Lodge here. A 2020 indestructible creature. And then on our turn, I would like to ponder into an Entomb for Emrakul the Aeon's Torn. And that's how we win this game. Alright, I will go to 1. I'm going to daze this. Because this way they won't have lands in their hand for afterwards. There's a Saga. So they'll have 1 Otawara unless they choose to play it out. Okay, so Emrakul will get their entire board. I just have to ponder into Entomb. Can we do it? Ponder. Believe. Yes! Let's go! Okay. The Entomb. Dark Ritual. Entomb. And now we will select the Emrakul the Aeon's Torn. Shallow Grave. So now this triggers and shuffles in our graveyard. And we'll attack. And I get their entire board here, including the Merit Lodge. And they have no hand. Alright, they're at 3. Can we win? I'm at 1. Oh, wow. Their draw was Urza Saga? No way. Another Entomb. I'll brainstorm. Okay. We'll put back Daze, Ponder, and pass the turn. Urza Saga goes to the second chapter here. I think I'll Entomb. And we'll grab a Gwenom here. Okay. Daze, that's not a bad one. We'll Ponder. I think we keep this, and then I'll Surveil away the Daze. Undercity Sewers, Surveil away Daze, pass the turn. So now the Urza Saga goes to the third chapter. If they have like a Grafdigger's Cage or a Soul Guide Lantern, it's a little awkward, but not the end of the world. Maybe I should have put Griselbrand to the graveyard, because now I only have 1 Gwenom I can hardcast. Yeah, that's the downside. Okay, so I have to hardcast 1 copy of Gwenom in order to win this game. They have another Life from the Loam that I will daze. I'm not feeling too good about this one. We'll play the Undercity Sewers. Entomb is not good here. We'll put that to the graveyard. If they have 1 less life, Collective Brutality would also kill them. Exploration, sure. Shallow Grave. That does not beat the Grafdigger's Cage. Let's brainstorm. 3 duds when I'm at 1 life. You know what? I'm going to save myself some life equity here. Our opponent's going to eventually win. I'll just concede. That was tough. Okay, so I think we're going to board into Doomsday versus lands. Although I don't think I love the Sheldock Isle plan versus the Wasteland deck. But I think I will board out the Emrakul the Aeon's Torn this time. Maybe I'll end up leaving in a couple copies of Gwenom. So that way I can still do the Storm thing. Boarding out Shallow Graves. We're at 65 cards at the moment. Don't need the Children of Corliss. 64. What am I forgetting? Entomb. Okay. Let's give it a go. On the play. Unfortunately not. We will mulligan. This is fine. Keep bottom the Brainstorm. Looted Delta, fetch. We'll grab the basic island and ponder. I know that basic island doesn't cast Doomsday, but we are facing the Wasteland deck. We'll shuffle this. And the basic swamp, a good draw. I would like a Dark Ritual, please. Mox Diamond. Discards a Sajiri Step. Baraka, so that shuts off the Gwenom plan. Exploration. Wasteland. They have 2 cards. Okay. Lotus Petal. Let's play Ponder. The Underground Sea would let me play Doomsday next turn. Is that worth keeping? Because I don't really want the 2 cards above it. I'm going to be ultra greedy. I think I'm going to shuffle. And I'm rewarded. We'll play the Swamp. Pass the turn. They have a Boseiju who endures. Choke. I will Force of Negation that. I was not expecting Choke. They have 1 card in their hand. Thoughtseize. I don't think I'm going to play Thoughtseize. I will fetch. Grab Underground Sea. And Doomsday. Okay, so we can build a pretty stock Brainstorm pile here, I believe. Thassa's Oracle. Street Wraith. Edge of Autumn. Consider... Hold on, I have to change this. This doesn't work as I'm doing it. So I need a Brainstorm in here. I've already selected 5. So I have to get rid of 1 of these. Probably the Street Wraith. And then replace that with Brainstorm. So they'll Wasteland my Underground Sea. I draw Brainstorm for turn. Brainstorm into Consider Edge of Autumn Lion's Eye Diamond. And then that wins. So Thassa's Oracle is the bottom card. And then Consider... Lion's Eye Diamond, Edge of Autumn, Brainstorm. Pass the turn. They tap a Boseiju for a green. If they have like a Ghost Quarter here, that gets really awkward. Yep. So they have crop rotation for Ghost Quarter. And that can blow up my blue source. No. So I have to pass the turn for multiple turns in a row now. And then they Once Upon a Time. And they reveal Endurance. But I have the Thoughtseize, so I will Thoughtseize Endurance. Okay, so my next draw, I believe, is Lion's Eye Diamond. My bottom card is Thassa's Oracle, so we could still win. It's just tough. So I can't win next turn, even though I'm drawing the Lion's Eye Diamond. Ooh, actually, I can win. If I draw Diamond, I can cycle... Okay, we got it. So I play the Diamond. My next card is Consider. I'm going to hold control, cycle Edge of Autumn, add 3 blue, and now we draw Consider, leave the Thassa's Oracle on top. Wow, we got there. How about that? That was sweet. Okay, so we took game number 2, now we need to win game number 3. I don't think I want the Shelldock Isle Emrakul plant still, it just seems like wishful thinking. I'm going to send it back. Game 3, we're on the draw. I've opened up a hand where we don't have Force of Will, but I do have Doomsday. The Undercity Sewers I wish was an untapped land here. I think I'm still going to keep it. I'm a little concerned about Endurance, so maybe we put a Force of Will somewhere in our pile. I'm not sure. They play Once Upon a Time, and they find Ghost Quarter. They play a Mox Diamond, discards the Ghost Quarter, and Malevolent Rumble. That resolves. Wasteland, Exploration, Crop Rotation, Urza's Saga. They chose the Exploration. Okay. Let's see what the draw is. Force of Negation. I'll play Undercity Sewers. Keep the Polluted Delta on top and pass. So I believe we have a win next turn, even if I get Wastelanded. I probably can't beat Endurance, though. Away from the Loam, I will Force of Negation this. Exile Ponder. 4 cards in their hand. They play Yavimaya. Exploration. 2 cards left. Play a land. Come on. That way I know that they don't have Endurance. They play Dark Depths, so they have 1 card in hand, and I believe we have a win. So I'll play the Polluted Delta. I'll fetch. Grab Underground Sea. Dark Ritual. Doomsday. Alright, so Lion's Eye Diamond. Edge of Autumn. Street Wraith. Thassa's Oracle. And Consider. Okay. Oracle on the bottom. Edge of Autumn. And then these, the order of these doesn't matter all that much. We'll play the Lotus Petal. Brainstorm. Do you have a Disruptor Flute? That would be the only thing I think could stop me here. It looks like they... Oh no, they Boseiju. Okay, so that's going to shuffle the deck. Oh no, I can just click no. Yeah, okay. So now we'll put back Dark Ritual, Consider. Play the Lion's Eye Diamond. And now we'll cycle the Street Wraith holding priority. Add 3 blue. And now we'll Consider away the Dark Ritual. And then we'll draw the Edge of Autumn. Cycle Edge of Autumn into the Thassa's Oracle. We did it. Take that, lands. All right, we're 3-0. We still haven't used Gwenom. I swear that I'm trying, but I'm also trying to win. So let's see if we can do it in match number 4. The Gold Sabertooth times the Epic Storm collection has arrived with 3 full-size tokens showcasing the beloved Dark Ritual, CDH Rogsai, and Legacy of the Epic Storm for just $5. On the backs of these tokens, there's a place for my signature or a custom message. In addition to these sweet tokens, a friendly reminder that all orders that ship from theepicstorm.com also come with a signed Storm token from yours truly. The 4th match, we're on the draw. We've opened up a highly interactive hand. I have no clue what the opponent's playing, but it seems decent to me. Underground C, and they Thoughtseize. Okay. They take my Thoughtseize. Sure. They have 5 cards. Lion's Eye Diamond is not a good draw. We'll play the Undercity Sewers. Keep the Collective Brutality. Pass the turn. I'm not as convinced with that one, but we'll see how it shakes out. Another Thoughtseize. That resolves. They take my Lion's Eye Diamond and a Wasteland. Okay. This Collective Brutality looking pretty bad right now. I was thinking at worst I would be able to fetch it away. We'll grab the island, play Ponder. We will keep this. I'll draw the days. Pass the turn. Now they Ponder. So it's either Dimir Tempo or Reanimator. One of the two. They did not shuffle. They play an Underground Sea and Tamiyo Inquisitive Student. I think I'd like to daze this. Okay. We'll play the island, pass the turn. I believe my top card is a Goryo's Vengeance or a Shallow Grave, and I'm fine with drawing that. They have 4 cards in their hand. Another Thoughtseize. I will Brainstorm. Put back the Tendrils of Agony and Goryo's Vengeance. They take the Collective Brutality. They have 3 cards left. I'm not positive what they're playing yet. It's one of 2 decks. And now they main phase a Brainstorm. I guess it could be Doomsday, theoretically. They play a Polluted Delta with 2 cards remaining. We'll play the Scalding Tarn and pass the turn. They fetch with Polluted Delta or an Undercity Sewers. They kept the card on top. Gothy Voidwalker. I think I have to Force of Will this one. So they're Dimir Reanimator, I think. 2 cards left in their hand. We'll fetch. Grab Undercity Sewers. We don't need Shallow Grave. Let's play the Consider. Keep Ponder. And then cast the Ponder. This is 1 mana short of hard casting the Gwenom. My fear is it's 1 mana short and there's no blue cards for the Force of Will. I think I'm supposed to shuffle this. Unfortunate. Terrible draw. Wow. Okay. Oh, that's brutal. I could really use a Brainstorm right now. But I've already used 2 of them. 1 Brainstorm. Well, our opponent gets a Brainstorm, unfortunately. They found another Wasteland. Murktide Regent. Yeah, that hurts. Another Bloodstained Mire. We will pass. And now we take 8. I don't think I have 1 draw. I guess I could draw Brainstorm. Okay. And we did. Okay. So we need to hit perfects here and for our opponent to not have anything. Neither of those things... Well, I guess we don't know if the second thing is true because we didn't do the first. So we lose game number 1 to Reanimator. And now we will board into Doomsday. It does feel bad that I have not gotten to do the Gwenom thing. Because it's the whole point of today's video. So I will really try next round to make it happen. Board out the Gristlebrand. The Tendrils of Agony and Tomb. And then the Goryo's Vengeance and Shallow Graves. 62. Goodbye, Gwenom. Hit submit. Game number 2, we've boarded into Doomsday. Yeah, we'll try this. We'll begin with Swamp into Thoughtseize. They've taken a mulligan, so they're already on 6. They boarded in Fairy Macabre. Nice. Alright, so... I think we take the Brainstorm. Am I actually concerned with Tamiyo? Probably not. Alright, Brainstorm down. Pass. They have Island into Tamiyo Inquisitive Student. Another land wasn't great. We'll play Undercity Sewers. Uh-oh. We will put Emrakul to the graveyard and it shuffles itself in. They could Fairy Macabre this and then my Shellback Isle plan doesn't work. Okay, they didn't. I think we got away with 1 there. They play the Polluted Delta. And now they swing. They get to investigate. And they just pass. No ponder. So they're probably looking to sacrifice the clue. I could Doomsday right now. They have 2 unknown draws. I think I'm going to Doomsday. If I get dazed, I'm going to feel real bad, but I suspect they're going to sacrifice the clue, digging for something, and then my daze is live as protection. That's my thought process here. We'll play Doomsday. They fetch in response. Doomsday. They draw off the clue. Doomsday back on the stack. They force a will exiling Ponder, and I will daze. They have 3 cards in hand, one of which is a Fairy Macabre. Doomsday. They're going to exile 2 cards. I mean, it would have exiled those cards anyway. Alright, so I think we want the Emrakul the Aeon's Torn, the Underground Sea, because that way I can fetch it with Polluted Delta. Thassa's Oracle, maybe a Thoughtseize, and I get 1 more card here. I wonder if Force of Will is crazy. So next turn I'll draw the Force of Will and play the Shelldock Isle. We'll put Thassa's Oracle on the bottom. Actually, no, let's put the Emrakul on the bottom. Thassa's Oracle, the Underground Sea, Thoughtseize, Force of Will, and I'll pass. They attack with the Tamiyo, they create a clue. 3 cards in hand. They Thoughtseize. So this makes my Force of Will play bad. They play another Underground Sea, 1 card in hand. They draw off the clue. Yeah, I wish I wasn't drawing Force of Will right now. We'll play the Shelldock Isle. Emrakul the Aeon's Torn. And we'll pass. They attack, they investigate. So they can sacrifice the clue token here to dig for a wasteland. And they do. 4 cards in their hand now. They did not find it. We drew the Thassa's Oracle. I don't think I want to fetch out the Underground Sea. Let's play the Emrakul the Aeon's Torn. And we get an extra turn trigger. This is like my favorite part of this league, is the fact that we've Emrakul'd multiple people using Shelldock Isle. This is so sweet. Alright, so let's go to my next turn. Oh, maybe I was supposed to put the Cavern of Souls in the pile? I don't know. Let's Thoughtseize them. Maybe that was the move over the Force of Will, was putting Cavern of Souls in the pile. Alright, well, it worked in game 2. Let's try it again. Game 3 on the draw. Our opponent has kept 7. So will we. I don't love the Lion's Eye Diamond in this hand, but I think the rest of it's good enough. Or at least that's my hope. They have 6 cards. Lotus Petal. I'll play out the Lotus Petal. I think I'd like to Brainstorm at some point and step they Brainstorm. So I think I want to grab a Surveil land and then untap and Brainstorm. That is my game plan right now. I really, really need to find another fetch land. They play a Polluted Delta, they fetch, and Entomb. Is it crazy that I'm considering just letting this resolve? Like, they play like 4 or 5 reanimates. It's not different from the Entomb. I'm going to let it go. Archon of Cruelty. So you have the Atraxa in your hand. And now I will Force of Negation, exile the Brainstorm. They Force of Will back, exiling the Atraxa. I will Force of Will back, exiling the Brainstorm. They have 2 cards. So now I'm not sure if I should get the Undercity Sewers, because if I do, I get Wastelanded. So, like, am I supposed to just grab the basic Swamp? I don't know. Force of Negation. Not a great draw here. Grab the Swamp. We'll Thoughtseize them. I just think I have to respect Wasteland. They have Fairy Macabre. They have 1 card now. And it's a land. Okay. They play the Undercity Sewers. Puts an Underground Sea to the graveyard. Consider. Pass the turn. They play a Polluted Delta, 1 card in their hand. They grab another Undercity Sewers. Puts a Wasteland to the graveyard. Oh no, your one unknown's a Murktide Regent? They started paying costs, so like they're delving right now, and then they're going to pay the blue. I think I lose to the Murktide Regent. I would need Brainstorm into the nuts. And that's exactly what it was. That it was a very good draw step for them. Okay. That's not going to do it. Am I supposed to burn the Consider then? I think I might have to. So this puts me to 10. I don't think we're going to be able to win this. They Thoughtseize, all Force of Negation. The fact that they ripped the Murktide Regent was just so backbreaking here. I think I have to Consider. Get rid of the Undercity Sewers. Ponder isn't great. I think we've lost. So close. You could argue that I was supposed to just jam the Thoughtseize on turn 1 and accept losing to the Wasteland, but I thought with double Force Up that I could play it a little bit more safely. It just didn't work out. Alright, so we are now 3-1, and we still have not used the Gwenom. I'll try to make it happen in match number 5. The best Legacy podcast? That would be Eternal Glory featuring myself, Bryant Cook, alongside Brian Koval and Phil Gallagher. We're available on all major podcast platforms and YouTube. The 5th and final round, we are on the play. No, unfortunate. This seems okay. Keep and bottom the Lotus Petal. If I have the chance to do it, no matter what, I'm going to put Gwenom into play over Griselbrand. I just want to use it at least once in this video. It would be nice. So we'll play Underground Sea and pass. I have no clue what this person plays. I feel like I've played them before, but I just don't remember. From Mox, Prince of Duress, Manamorphose. So they're on the Necrodomiance deck. Okay. Another Manamorphose. From Mox. They imprint Born Upon a Wind, and now beseech the mirror. That resolves. Let me show you my friend. Force of Will. Exile Brainstorm. Our opponent says, and the odds makers take a beating. I'm not going to brainstorm now because I don't want to get locked. Ooh, we can do it. We can Gwenom next turn. Let's go. Let's go. End step Entomb. Would Griselbrand be better here? Probably. But Griselbrand isn't nearly as cool as Gwenom. Okay, let's see it. Polluted Delta. So that gives me a shuffle for the Gwenom too. Alright, put the Gwenom on the table. I mean, I feel like having a shuffle and a brainstorm is going to make this Gwenom convert. I think the funniest thing that could happen is that we reveal Emrakul and then we get to take an extra turn. Alright, so top card is Thoughtseize. We'll hold priority on the spells so that way if we want to daze our own spell, we can. Oh, that did not hold priority. Okay. Take the Necrodominance. Cast Entomb. Ah, they conceded. Come on. Ah. Alright. Well, I used Gwenom. You can't say that I didn't. If we had revealed a Force of Will or a Daze or something, I could have used the Polluted Delta and then shuffled. And then if we reveal another card that would have stopped us, I could have brainstormed. So I feel like the Gwenom there would have won. Alright, we'll bring in Flusterstorms, Force of Negation. And I think we do a similar thing to match 1, where we're just the control deck. Or whatever match we faced Reanimator. I can't remember which match that was. But I think we stay 10 fins, and then we just board out the Artifact Mana and the Children of Corliss. Submit. Our opponent mulligans. This doesn't do anything, so we'll send it back. We need a Force of Will. That is how this goes. They kept 6. We cannot keep this. We can keep this, though. Keep bottom the Entomb and Dark Ritual. So as long as I get to take my turn, I feel pretty good. But if they open up like a turn 1 Necrodominance with Pact of Negation backup, there's not a whole lot we could do. That's a Dark Ritual. Cabal Ritual. The rest, so you have a turn 1 with protection. Well, Force of Will, Exile Daze. Cabal Ritual. That is a turn 1 with protection. Alright, we'll go to game 3. I mean, I had Force of Will, it was not good enough. That's twice this league. Our opponent has turn 1 killed us with protection backup. But we're on the play now. So let's try it again. On the play for game 3. I think we keep this. So if they have a turn 1 like discard spell into the win, we still have Force Blue card. If they have Pact of Negation backup, we lose. Leyline of Sanctity. Okay. We'll play Polluted Delta and pass. They have 7 cards, or kept 7 cards, which is a little concerning. Gemstone Mine, and they're passing. We'll fetch. Grab the Undercity Sewers. Ooh, Gwenom. Against better judgment, I'm going to keep. Because I could theoretically hardcast the Gwenom. Let's brainstorm. Put back the Griselbrand and the Undercity Sewers. We'll pass the turn. They play land number 2. They Manamorphose. Okay. And now another Manamorphose. Dark Ritual. Okay. Now they cycle a Born Upon a Wind. You got it. 2 black mana floating. Another Dark Ritual. 4 cards in hand. Beseech the Mirror. I'm going to Flusterstorm this, because even if they have Pact of Negation backup, it's... yeah. Alright, so I could let this resolve and then counter the what is it called? Necrodominance. So that is like a play that wins the game outright, and I understand that, even if they have Pact of Negation backup. This stops the Pact of Negation. But they're down to 3, and what if I can't play the Gwenom next turn and hold open Flusterstorm, so like this uses my cards in the most efficient manner. But I think it's what we're supposed to do here. A land was a bad draw. Alright, so I'll go Dark Ritual and hardcast the Gwenom. I got to do both things I wanted to do this league. The Tin Fins Gwenom thing and the hardcast Gwenom. So it happened, it just didn't happen until match 5. They Manamorphose, Born Upon a Wind, you got it. And they concede the match. Gwenom is too strong. Alright, so we went 4-1, only losing to the best deck in Legacy that should probably be banned. Then that would be Dimir Reanimator. Yeah, I thought the deck was sweet. I loved the Doomsday sideboard juke. I thought the deck was pretty good. I think Gwenom is fine. It probably needs a larger sample to see how useful it really is, but I think it's fine enough at beating main deck Graveyard Hate, which is something this deck always struggled with in the past. So now you have that way to beat Graveyard Hate in your deck. If you're looking to play the Gwenom more consistently, you could play Limdol's Vault. It's a card I tried to jam into this deck, but ultimately I couldn't find the slots because you need to consider for the sideboard Doomsday plan. And what else are you cutting? Like, I guess you could try to cut down on Lotus Petals, but then your whole Tin Fins combo doesn't work quite as well. So I'm not sure if that's the best idea. Let me know what you think. Did you like the deck list? Put those in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day, and as always, keep storming. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe to support the channel. After you do that, open up our description where you can find all of our social media networks, including our Discord, where you can discuss today's deck in that Discord with me and tons of other combo masterminds. It's absolutely free to join, and it's certainly worth your while.